everybody, it's Mike Freener here with On Call Compliance Solutions, and I'm back with another compliance tip of the week. Today we're talking about DFARS, NIST SP 800-171, and CMMC, meeting CMMC requirements when developing custom code for defense contracts. Yes, if you code as any part of your deliverables or contract, this video is for you. So hey, if you're a defense contractor who's feeling overwhelmed, tired, and alone, trying to understand all of this DFARS, NIST SP 800-171, and CMMC compliance stuff, I've got great news for you. You found your home here at On Call Compliance Solutions, where we can help you transform into your company's on-call compliance hero. Let's jump into it. So, why custom code creates unique compliance challenges? Well, when your organization develops custom code for defense projects, you're not just producing software, you're handling sensitive, controlled, unclassified information in most cases that must be protected at all stages of development, deployment, and maintenance. And here's where it gets a little tricky. Proprietary software often lacks standardized security measures, okay? You're probably not Microsoft if you're watching this video, although who knows, maybe you are. We've got some friends at Microsoft. We say hello and we love you. You're writing the rules as you go, rather than relying on pre-built secure frameworks. Collaboration across teams, often using different tools, means CUI can unintentionally leak into insecure development pipelines. Let's be honest, a lot of us who are writing code are probably outsourcing it. Yikes! Are we outsourcing CUI? Are those contractors compliant? Or do we need to provide them with a separate development environment? By the way, Azure Government and our Azure Virtual Desktops that we stand up for clients, this is an amazing solution for developing custom code. We do it all the time. So what we do is we build a compliant environment for our clients in defense, and then they can essentially put contractors through brief trainings, making them aware of the risks of CUI, insider threat, those kinds of things, and then give them access to the secure Azure Government virtualized environment where they can program and code and test and have sandboxes and whatever else they need. It's an incredible solution because ultimately it doesn't require you to have to give them a computer of yours. You just simply give them access to a virtual computer that's yours, that is compliant. Huge win, especially for people producing code who may be outsourcing right now to others. Now, cloud-based code repositories can inadvertently expose sensitive data if not configured correctly, especially when external collaborators are involved. Now, I'm not pointing any fingers, but I will tell you that over the weekend I saw a news article about a ransomware gang that's figured out how to exploit AWS S3 buckets. Yeesh. Now that's a scary thing to have ransomware. Even one line of your custom code interacts with CUI, the entire system can be considered in scope for a CMMC assessment. Now that's an interesting fact, right? Just because your code's going to interact with CUI can bring it into scope. Key CMMC controls that impact custom software development, CMMC Level 2 requires you to meet 110 controls, we know that, and several of these are especially critical for software developers. Here's a couple of example controls, right? Access control, right, 3.1.x, you need to limit access to your development environment based on the principle of least privilege. Huge. We can't give these developers too much access to, well, anything they shouldn't have access to. We've got to be able to demonstrate that. How about configuration management, right? Our 3.4 family. Every change to your code must be documented, reviewed, and tracked. Yeah. Change management is huge. Configuration management is huge. You've got to have change logs. And hey, look, if you're kind of a wild and out programming entity, this may not be something you're used to, so we've got to really factor it in. Audit and accountability. Logging must capture who made changes, when, and why. So again, we've got to know who's working on this code, when, why, all that good stuff. System and communication protection. This includes encrypting data in transit and at rest, which can be challenging when using APIs and cloud-based collaboration tools. Again, there's a lot going on when it comes to encryption and the need to ultimately protect data when it's in transit. Custom code can't be a black box during an assessment. It needs to be transparent, well documented, and designed with security in mind. If you're building custom code, you're going to need to demonstrate a slew of policies and standard operating procedures to demonstrate how you're controlling it. Now, some common pitfalls in meeting compliance requirements. 1, code reuse without security audits. All right, reusing old code saves time, but often introduces legacy vulnerabilities, right? If that code isn't written with CMMC compliance in mind, it could be a ticking time bomb. And more importantly, it could lead to a vulnerable program that could get in, well, let's just say heap big trouble. Lack of secure DevOps practices. Many teams don't integrate security into their continuous integration or continuous delivery CI/CD pipelines, leaving gaps for potential breaches. These things all need to be considered. Then there's insufficient developer training, right? Do your developers even know that this is going to wind up being for defense or that it needs to have that level of security? Well, if your developers don't understand what CUI is or how it should be handled, they can inadvertently embed vulnerabilities or mishandle secure information. A great example is sometimes you might have something that's publicly accessible that maybe it's okay in the commercial space, but it's definitely not okay in the defense space because that information being exposed might be non-public information. Now, let's talk about how we can help you, right? How we help you succeed with this. Well, at On-Call Compliance Solutions, we've seen it all. And we're here to make sure your custom code doesn't derail your CMMC certification if you've got that going on in your company. And here's how we can help. Secure development environment setup, all right? Talked about earlier, but we'll ensure your dev environments meet CMMC standards from access control to audit trail. We love Azure Government. We can certainly work in other environments, but if you need to stand something up, let's say you're using GitHub, right? Well, GitHub Enterprise, it's got its own compliance issues, but we can put it into Azure Government, and all of a sudden, A-OK on race day, as my good friends would say. Code review processes. Our experts will guide you in implementing secure review processes for your code base, identifying weak spots before auditors do. And then custom standard operating procedures and documentation will help you develop policies that make sense for your organization, not cookie cutter templates that don't fit your workflow. And this is so huge, you guys, because we talk about it often. We've tried the cookie cutter approach and it doesn't work. You're going to need stuff to be customized to your organization, your workflows, your CUI flows, all that stuff. You're going to need that done for you and your specific organization. There's just no two organizations that do it similarly. Then we can give you virtual compliance officer support. With our ongoing support, your team gets continuous guidance to stay compliant, even as your product evolves. So again, you either need a compliance officer or somebody who's going to have that role, or you can outsource it to us for a fraction of the cost. And again, you've probably got a core thing you do as your day job, right? And ultimately, at the end of the day, this is one thing that I think a lot of our clients really engage in and really, really love. Now there's convincing the boss why investing in compliance pays off. I know what you're thinking. How do I get leadership to sign off on compliance expenses for software development, let alone maybe a whole separate government-focused or defense-focused environment? Well, here's the pitch. Avoid your contract losses. That's first off, is actually operate in a compliant manner. Without CMMC certification, you can't bid on future DoD contracts. That's millions of dollars left on the table for most companies, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Again, we're just not that expensive. But I will tell you, it's real expensive to lose the work that fuels your company. Now, there's also lower incident costs. A single cybersecurity breach can cost you far more than upfront compliance preparation ever will, especially when we're talking about source code, okay? Source code, highly valuable and certainly not something we want to be out there being exploited. That can cost your company big time money. Competitive advantage. By embedding security into your software from the start, you can market your solution as defense grade secure. And I got to tell you, we have a client that's done this, and their sales went through the roof when they started talking to clients in a little bit of a different way that was security focused as opposed to just feature focused. It's a really big deal, and when you can be compliant with this and you've got the right processes in place, it's a huge boost to your competitive selling proposition. It's something your sales teams and your boss is going to really love. Now, if you're still thinking to yourself, man, I am struggling to figure out how to deal with, our organization is one that generates custom code in the defense world, I have great news for you. Because at On-Call, we take defense contractors who do custom code and those who don't, just like you, who've had this DFARS, NIST, and CMMC compliance stuff dropped in their laps just like a seagull on a sunny day. And we teach you how to level up and become a proper On-Call compliance hero for your company, eliminating gaps, gray areas, and getting this solved, all while showing you how to leverage compliance as your secret weapon to land more defense work with higher profit margins. Now, if you're looking for more help getting compliant, our compliance experts are always on call for you. Visit cmmccompliancesecrets.com or check out the description below for links to get help right now. And if you love the content we're putting out there for you, help us out with a big thumbs up on that like button or smash the subscribe button. I know it's been a while since I asked. Smash the subscribe button to get the latest compliance content as soon as our compliance nerds roll it out. Because let me tell you, one, motivates our team as we continue to add subscribers. It just really makes us happy knowing that we're helping the defense industrial base out there. That's you, the defense company. And two, well, hey, that helps us reach you again so that we can keep you up to date as this thing continues to rapidly evolve. My friends, until the next time, stay safe, stay secure, and compliant out there, and hit us in the comments below to let us know what you'd like to know more about. And I'll see you on the next one.